day to you, boys and girls. I am Professor Perimeter, and I am here to teach you about the concept of perimeter. Let's think of the name itself, perimeter. Within its name is the word rim, which reminds us that perimeter is the rim or the edge of an object. In fact, it is the length around the outside edge of an object. It is simply one long line which surrounds an object. It is a one-dimensional measurement. When we find perimeter, we include all edges of the object. You learned in 3rd grade, or you should have, that to find the perimeter of a rectangle, you simply add all 4 sides together. Since a rectangle has opposite sides congruent or exactly the same length, we can determine the perimeter by only knowing 2 of the sides. For instance, if the top of this rectangle is 11 centimeters, and the side is 4 centimeters, we can deduce that the bottom edge is also 11 centimeters, and this edge would be 4 centimeters. To find the perimeter, then, we add all 4 edges together. Mathematicians have developed a rule for this. The rule for finding perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W equals P, where the variable L stands for length, the variable W stands for width, and P stands for the perimeter. 2 of the lengths plus 2 of the widths would equal the perimeter, or 2 times 11, which is 22, plus 2 times 4, which is 8, would give us the perimeter of 30 centimeters for this rectangle. A square can be done similarly. You learned about squares all the way back in kindergarten, that all 4 sides are the same length or congruent. If one side is 6 inches, then all 4 sides are 6 inches, and we can use the formula 4 times the length of a side is the perimeter, or 4 times 6 is 24. We just simply need to put the label on. Our unit of measure is inches. It is a one-dimensional measurement, so we only need it once. We will get to more when we do area next week. That all may seem awfully easy, especially when your mustache is folding off. But some objects are rather irregular. I've done this tape now 6 times, so I'm just going to take the beard and mustache off. Here is an irregular shape. This irregular shape is drawn on grid paper, although you may not be able to see the grid lines well. To find the perimeter, I first need to consider how many sides it has, so that I make sure I add them all in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My shape has 8 sides. I must make sure that I put 8 sides in my equation. This top side is 3 inches. This side is 3 inches as well. Again, we have 3 inches. Up here we have 2 inches this side is 5 inches. The bottom is 8 inches. And this side is 6 inches. So to find the perimeter, I simply need to add all of these sides together. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6. Now recall, a moment ago I counted 8 sides. I must make sure I have all 8 measurements in my perimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have indeed missed one. It's probably the missing mustache that makes me, not so smart. So I need to look for the side that I have missed. Here, this side is 2, and it must be included. When I add this many numbers together, I like to look for friendly sums, or things that add up to things like 10. Tens are easy. I see that here I have a 2 and an 8, and that makes 10. Here I have a 3 and a 3 and a 3, which is 9. I don't have a 1 to put with it, but I do have a 6 and a 5, which makes 11. Now I can take 1 from the 11 and give it to the 9, so that these would both become 10s. The only sides I have left then, let's see, I've used those 2 and those 2 and those 3. I have this one is a 2. So I have 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 2, or 32 inches. If I were an ant crawling around the edge of this shape, I would crawl an entire length of 32 inches. Let's take, for instance, a game you may remember from the past. In our past lives, there was a diversion people enjoyed called football. Well, now it's my eyebrows. In football, there's a large field. People gathered there in great crowds, which would be rather unhealthy at this point, and they cheered on their team as they moved the ball up and down the field. Aha! I've grown back my beard. The length of a football field is 100 yards. We know that there are 3 feet in a yard from our last unit on measurement, so if I multiply 100 times 3, I get a total of 300 feet on each side. Now, in the game of football, in order to score points, you must make it to the end zone. And the end zone would be on each end of the field, is another 10 yards. If we want to change that to feet, we would simply multiply 3 times 10 for an extra 30 feet on this side, as well as 30 feet on this side. The width of an American football field is 150 feet. Now, to find the perimeter of the entire football field, I must add the top side, the bottom side, the left side, and the right side together. 30 and 30 is 60, so the top is 360 feet. I know then that the bottom is also congruent, or 360 feet. If the left end zone is 150 feet wide, the right is also 150 feet wide. Adding these numbers together, we get our total perimeter. 6 and 6 is 12, 5 and 5 is 10. Putting the two together, we get a total of 22. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 more makes 8, and 1 is 9, and another one is 10. Therefore, the perimeter of an American football field is 1,020 feet. Now, in this day of quarantine, it's good to get about and get your exercise. So if you were next to a football field, how many times would you have to walk around it to walk approximately 1 mile? Well, we learned in measurement that there are 5,280 feet in a mile. If each lap around the football field would be 1,020 feet, we would have to go around approximately 5 times, or a little more than 5 times, to go 1 mile. So if you like to stroll about a football field, every 5 laps is approximately 1 mile. This concept of perimeter may seem entirely too elementary for you, but perimeter can get complex when we look at irregular shapes, particularly when they're not drawn on grid paper. Let's say this was my yard and I wanted to put fence around the outside edge of it. If I measured this side and I saw that it was 20 feet, and I measured this side is 20 feet, and I measured this side is 10 feet, and 10 feet here, and another 25 feet here, and let's say this is 10 feet here, and 20 feet here. Notice that I left 2 of them blank. I can figure those out without just making up numbers in my head. I must use a little logical reasoning. If I cut this like a birthday cake into tiers, I can see that I have 3 rectangles on top of each other. This rectangle is 25 feet on this end, and therefore must be 25 feet here. This rectangle is 10 feet here, and therefore must be 10 feet here. By combining these 2 tiers of my cake together, I can see that that side length is 35 feet. Very good. Now, do I have all the side lengths? No, I am missing the bottom side length, and I must figure out how much it is. Consider cutting our cake vertically instead of horizontally. Now I have cut it into 4 columns. The top of this column is 20, therefore this is 20. The top of this is 10, therefore this is 10. Here we have 20, so this is 20. And here's 10, so this must be 10 as well. So the length of our bottom is 20 plus 10 plus 20 plus 10, or 60 feet. Now I know all the outside edges of my yard, and I can add them together to determine how much fence to buy. Ten plus 20 plus 20 plus 10 plus 10 plus 25 plus the whole bottom is 60 plus this part is 35 plus this side is 20. Now, do I have all the sides? I best count to make sure I haven't missed anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should have 10 sides included. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a good thing that I counted. I'm missing one again, and it must be here. Since it is the opposite side of this top layer of cake, I know that this is 20 feet as well. Now I have a lot of numbers to add together, and I will do so trying to put together friendly numbers first. If I take these 3 on the top, they total 50. 10 plus 20 plus 20 is 50. I can add 50 with another 50 if I have it. I have 40 there and 10 there. That's another 50. So now I know I'm up to 100. 10 and 60 would be 70. If I add 30 more to that, that would be 100, but I have 35. So I actually have 105 from this and this and this. Then I just have my extra 25 to add on. I get a total of 230. I would need to buy 230 feet of fence to fit all the way around my yard. I should remember to put a gate somewhere so that I don't have to climb over it to get into my yard. Climbing fences is difficult. Trust me, I've done it recently. All right. Is there anything else you need to know about perimeter? Well, perimeter is an important thing if you're putting fences around your yard, if you are putting wallpaper border up around your bathroom, or if you are putting a frame around a picture. These are times when you will need to know perimeter. So make sure that you add all the sides, use logical reasoning to figure out any sides that are missing, and don't forget to complete your work. If you have questions, boys and girls, you can always contact me, Professor Perry Meter, by text or phone. My number is 260-243-0745. I would be more than happy to help you. You could also contact your classroom teacher for help. Here's hoping that this video has helped you understand perimeter just a little bit more, and I will see you again next week, or I will have a colleague be here to teach you about area. This is Professor Perry Meter. Good day.